I'm Charles Davis, and I'll once again be taking you across America to meet the future stars in sports. Today's cross-country tour begins in South Florida. Joe McCann has this week's 5-star feature.
Most 14-year-old football players are probably thinking about starting for the freshman team or maybe getting some time with the JV. But Don Chaney Jr., not only was he a varsity player at that age, he had scholarship offers, and he's been entertaining the fans here at Belen Jesuit ever since.
Being able to run and score long touchdowns. My yardage after the contact, that's what makes me go crazy.
Don Chaney is graduating from Belen Jesuit with a number of school records, including career rushing yards and touchdowns. He's always been a natural when it comes to football. He was first drawn to it while watching highlights of his father, Don Sr., who played wide receiver at the University of South Carolina.
I saw one of my dad's highlight tapes and I was like, I want to play with whatever sport that is.
And, he would try to mimic some of the stuff that was going on, and he'd be jumping on the bed, catching the ball and things like that.
I was like, I wanted to play that position, and but I just didn't have the hands for it. My dad was a wide receiver, so I was like, okay, I definitely don't have the hands. And I was like, Dad, since I'm fast and I'm pretty strong, what else can I play? He's either you can run the ball or you can tackle whoever has the ball. I was like, I definitely want to run the ball, so that's how it started with being a running back.
At that point, sometimes I would just see him run around and just chase him, and just the way he would cut and turn. I saw a whole lot of athleticism in him early.
He came to Belen Jesuit, a private school for grades 6 through 12, in the 7th grade. And Coach Eddie Delgado knew that a rising star had just entered his program.
And I remember seeing him play against my son's team. And I knew who he was, the name, because his father was a coach who had coached against us. And then when I heard he was coming, I said, hey, this kid's for real. I mean, I saw him a few years ago, and he was amazing. And then he started off with us playing in the middle school at 7th grade. He dominated there.
He was so advanced that he practiced with the JV the first 2 weeks in 7th grade. But I was like, nah, he's too young. Let's let him have fun a little bit, and then we'll see what happens from there. So he actually skipped over JV in the 8th grade and went up to varsity.
Not only was he always been a speed threat and all that, but now he's a real powerful runner that he'll run you over too. So he's really turning into a complete package.
As a 5-year varsity player, Chaney has not only put up great numbers, but he's also set a strong example for all the younger players.
I would say I bring a lot of leadership. I bring a lot of charisma to the game. I can bring anybody up from a game, I see one of my teammates down, I'm there, laughing, giggling, whatever I gotta do to bring my teammate up, whether it's a win or a loss. It doesn't matter what it is. If they do something wrong, I'm gonna pick you up on it. I'm gonna have you learn off your mistakes. I'm gonna have you do it over and over again until you can perfect it.
He's a happy guy, but he's also, at the same time, he's our hardest worker. He loves the weight room, he doesn't miss a day, and he leads really by example more than anything else.
Don is such a gifted athlete, he once won a high jump at a track and field meet despite the fact it was his first attempt, and he had just learned how to do it minutes earlier on a phone.
6th grade, we had a track meet, and my track coach was like, we need more points to win. And he's like, oh, we need somebody to do high jump. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So my dad, really quick, he showed me like a 5-minute video on how to high jump. And then from right there, I just jumped, and I won that with like 5'8" in the 6th grade. And that's pretty high.
Don is now a 3-time state champion in the high jump, and he may continue competing in track in college, though he'll be on scholarship for football, and he's chosen to stay close to home at the University of Miami.
I picked it because obviously, Coach Manny Diaz, he's a very determined guy. He's about that lifestyle, and I want to be about that lifestyle too. I also picked him in because they have what I want to study in. Just the brotherhood there is very strong, so it's a unit. It's one unit, one team. So
I'm extremely excited. It's like any other parent. If a parent says he's not excited, he's lying. To see your kid go from one extreme to the other, through nothing given, everything earned, is extremely powerful and motivating, and maybe one day he'll live out his dream. We don't talk about the NFL at all, but I know he wants to. He brings it up, and I say, son, we're a long way from home from that. So let's try to just focus on this part first, and then we'll get there. And so I told him that one time, and I had to tell him again.
That one thing at a time approach has always been important for Don. His parents have stressed education first, and Don is more than willing to listen, as his academic goals are just as big as his football goals.
I was studying kinesiology, so I can go to med school and then try to become a neurologist. I just like the way the brain works. I always wanted to know how my brain works, how everybody else's brain works, so I can be able to help them out. A lot of people doubt my education. Yeah, they're like, oh no, he doesn't want to be a neurologist. But I mean, you just gotta wait and see, because that was my first dream since I was a kid.
Well, me and my wife, it was our plan, and we thought about it, and we looked around, and we knew it was tough here, but we wanted him to actually face that adversity in the classroom, because just from experience of knowing that if you're a great student, you won't struggle on the football field in college. You won't have that comparison like, oh my God, I can't focus on this, I got a test tomorrow. Your preparation, because here, preparation is everything academically.
As a young man who works hard in everything he does, Don Chaney's future seems very bright, whether it's on the field or off.
I've never coached a guy like him before, but we've played against a lot of guys like him before. And, sky's the limit. Health, obviously, as long as it stays good, he can go as far as he wants.
I'm very excited because I know I got a lot of things planned out for myself. I've been organizing myself, getting ready for the future, so I'm ready for it.
In Miami, Florida, I'm Joe McCann.